Yes, good morning. As I understand, Sandra already offered my job to somebody here in the room, but actually I would say I'm pretty lucky. I would feel pretty lucky if somebody would take it. Honestly, it's not the nicest job in the world. The good thing about it is that you know some time from time they ask you to give opening remarks on the conferences. And this is nice part of the job. But I'll try to be brief and briefly sort of describe my thinking. What is the state of play? And yes, I understand there are three issues in the focus of this event, or three key themes. The first and most important and underlying, everything right now is what we do with our data. Smart people, engineers and scientists have built, new machines in past years. And this machine that they have created is a completely new interface between a man and the knowledge, or a single man or a woman, and the knowledge humanity has created this far. And I am a firm believer that it is a really, really powerful tool. And it opens completely new possibilities. I have a question, actually. I was wondering that this original idea, the thinking in billions, what people meant by the billions. I guess they meant dollars or euros. But in the context of AI, I think more relevant is billion ideas. That actually really this machine that we now have in our use, and that we're just discovering the use cases. There are billions of those. And why this is important is not I don't think that the most important thing is the capacity to really, create value in measured in dollars, but actually to enable the human development, so that actually more and more human beings, not only here in Estonia, but globally, and I truly mean it, can find the self-realization. And this is, I think, what is most important sort of aspect of this era that we are living, that in the coming 3, 5, 10 years, we create a completely new environment for idea creation. We sort of give the possibilities to human mind to reach to new heights, and this is without exaggeration. But for this, of course, we need favorable conditions. And that is kind of our role from the government side. And I myself, I'm not a big believer in the almighty state, that somewhere there are people, ministers, employees of the ministries and so on, who can, actually guide where the societies go and what is going to happen in coming years. Of course, we have a role, but I see this role mainly as an enabler. And that's what we try to do here in Estonia also with this government. And so just to give you some examples, where these new technologies we see will have certainly a huge impact in coming years, and where government can be useful. In Estonian context, it's of course data itself. The basis of this new economy or new world that we are building, in some sense, is the quality of data, the accessibility of data. So we have certain competitive advantage here because the basic architecture of digital Estonia, not only in the public sector, but the beauty is that we are connected, in the same platform also with the private sector. It enables, the secure, standardized way of exchanging data. And this, in the context of generative AI, of course, is of crucial importance. But it's absolutely certain that it's our data sets, which we have quite a lot, are not in a perfect conditions. So what we really concentrate on the government side to get these data sets in good order, so that ideas created by you can really be realized, the data used and analyzed in a safe and secure way, and keeping in mind also that the privacy issues of sensitive personal data. So this is the sort of the core vector we right now work on or try to move on. So maybe more concrete examples, what we can do with this data is we certainly know that unfortunately the humanity is not really healthy. The health costs are one of the major burdens to the state's budgets in most of the countries, especially in the advanced countries where we live, good life. And then consume too much and don't think what we consume. So definitely something in the health sector is going to happen, and talks about personalized preventive medicine have been around for some years already. But now we actually have the capacity to start to move in this direction, not in an experimental way, but actually start to plan, tools, means, drugs, equipment, assistance that actually guide people to better health and giving. It's important, but it's also important, state-wise to release resources to do some other things. So this is definitely important. And what we are trying to do, we are looking into the sort of the health ecosystem of Estonian available health data. We have quite a number of data sets on this, and so and also we have the so-called, what's the beauty of it, so-called life log, or because Digital Estonia, we know quite a lot what people do. In addition to their e-health stories, their scanned images and so on. So, but it is from one side, there is this possibility from the other side, all this data is pretty sensitive because it's personal health data. So we try to figure out what is the best configuration to set up these data sets in a way that it's actually usable for future developments from the public sector to plan better our health budget, but also to give it to private sector so that actually new tools and new medicines can be developed quicker and cheaper that is possible now. So this is kind from the positive side. Unfortunately, we live in a world where for our liking, world will never be perfect. But currently, we see that there are too many people prevailing in a good global, let's say, political stage, who think that world is a zero-sum game, that you can either only win or lose. And especially small nations like Estonia or like-minded nations globally, I just met tens of my colleagues yesterday because of the Latitude and other events in Estonia e-Government Academy conference. There are tens and tens of countries who don't think in this way, and so this is important that we sort of build these networks, work together. But this is one part of the equation. The other part of the equation that we also have to be prepared in this not so friendly world. And we know all these conflicts that are currently going on close to us in Ukraine, but also in Gaza, some smaller conflicts in other places. And we just can't, wait and hope that it goes away. We have to be prepared. And so we also look into the defense technology. So we have decided in the government that in July we should be ready to launch the first defense-oriented fund on the smart cap in Estonia, which then breaches the financing say problems there that currently exists, because we have to be honest in this context. We need to develop quickly also lethal technologies. And lethal technologies are usually not in the scope of traditional funds or traditional banks. The landscape is changing, the thinking is changing, but here we have the possibility to move fast and also encourage these funds and these institutions to change their policies. But yes, we hope that by the end of the year we are ready to invest into the first really innovative defense-oriented projects with the help of this fund. So this is what we do. And yeah, why then finally these events are important? I think, or I'm sure that the main point here is to take a little bit time off, to sit, not only be on the stage and listen what other people talk and what they think and what are their emotions and feelings. And this helps us to look further. And this is how our brain works, that the generative AI wants to emulate, but it does it in a different way. It works mathematically by the algorithms, and then these algorithms have gotten pretty good, but they still can't emulate the human brain. And human brain works by making connections with the help of neurons. And to make these connections, you need sort of the initial input, the different ideas flying somewhere around. And if you gather a pretty random set of new ideas, hopefully smart ideas from this stage, maybe during night something happens in the brain, and in the morning you will wake up with an idea how to make $1 billion. We also don't want to sort of minimize the importance of this kind of thinking. So we have to raise, our target is to raise Estonian economy twice for next 10 years. And all entrepreneurial people actually have to do this for us. We from the government side can only try not to hinder your movements or ambitions, and if possible support them. So thank you, and have a really nice and thoughtful day.